Hello everybody, today I would like to talk about Gears of War E-Day, more specifically Horde. While I did play the PvP, I didn't record it as I didn't think I would quite enjoy it as much as the PvE. I was pleasantly surprised. I should have really recorded the PvP. I think I'm actually going to be playing that a lot whenever the game actually comes out. It was a really fun experience, and for those who haven't played PvP, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. And this is coming from somebody who is mainly a PvE enjoyer. So, I want to talk about what Horde Siege I think does well, and some cons that some things that didn't do as well in. So, one thing that I do really think it did well in, with multiple factors, is movement. It feels weighty, responsive. Jump and slide actually feel like you need them in order to actually get around the entirety of the map. It doesn't just feel like a gimmick. It actually feels like, oh, I need to jump, I need to slide, I need to vault over this tall cover, I need to jump over this gap. It's so nice to see that they've added this not just as a like I mentioned, a gimmick. It feels useful, impactful, and overall just great. I love how they've implemented jump and slide, and I know this is weird, but I'm glad we're not using the roadie run anymore. As much as the roadie run was cool, it's been since 2020 years since we had the roadie run. I think we deserved a new sprint animation. Alright, so the map itself as well is big. This is such a different version of Horde. I am making an evolution video, so I'm not going to get too in-depth about the differences between the previous Hordes and this one, but basically this is no longer stuck in a small map or a PvP map and you have to hold out in a specific area or whatnot. This is a massive map with multiple different objectives and stuff like that. It's a big departure, and quite frankly, a really welcome departure from what was original. Though I would still like to see a 50 wave, because they got the 10 wave, but they don't have a 50 wave. I would like to see a 50 wave version, which would be really, really nice. Anyway, the map itself is massive. Well, not... I wouldn't say it's massive like a lot of extraction shooters where they're huge. I do think that could be potentially just because it's the smaller end of the map spectrum, which I'm hoping it is, though if it isn't, if we got a bunch of maps that are like this size, I honestly wouldn't mind. But it's big. There's plenty of places to go. There's multiple squads within the map itself. There's Bishop, Anvil, and Cobalt. In this one, I'm playing on Anvil. It's a really good experience. And before I forget it, because I forgot to write this down, and I was just watching my recording, you can actually save people from being executed by enemies in this, which you couldn't really do previously in other titles. So, yeah, that's a quick out of nowhere mention because I forgot to write it down. But you can actually do that now. But the Massive has a lot of replayability to it because of how big it is. You could start from one location, go all the way across to the other side. You see a bunch of different enemies and stuff like that compared to what you did at one area and whatnot. It really is massively replayable, especially with the new verticality to it. You have giant buildings that you can scale to get to a better advantage if you're a sniper, or if you're a medic, you want to go down low to get to healing the people, like the assault and stuff like that. You can do that. There's so much more verticality and so much more replayability within this map that we haven't really seen this level of verticality since Gears of War Judgment, which, it's Judgment. I won't comment any further than that. But overall, the map itself is amazing. It's replayable. I'm glad they have all the verticality in it. I can't wait to see the other maps. this is such a massive positive for me because I love verticality in Gears of War. But one of the more important things about Gears of War, since it is a shooter, is its weapons. How are the weapons? Well, all the weapons that I have used so far, Striga, like all the weapons that were in the beta, have been viable and useful. I don't feel like if I picked up a random weapon, I would have a hard time with it. It's a really, really nice thing to be able to be like, okay, I need to pick up the hammer burst, or I need to pick up the breach shot, and not feel like I'm at an instant disadvantage because I picked up a different weapon simply because I was low on ammo. It's really nice that the weapons are all viable. Now, since this is an extraction shooter, there is the progress for the extraction for the maps is weapon modularity and upgrading your weapon to be more specific to what you like. So more of a kind of, some people will say it's like Call of Duty, but it's less like Call of Duty than you think because there's only a certain amount of attachments that you can have and you don't unlock it the same way as you do in Call of Duty. And they honestly function better than Call of Duty's. They feel more unique to you. The sound design of the weapons themselves are amazing. I have no complaints about the sound effects of the weapons at all. I think they're all great. The prototype Lancer feels good. The Retro Lancer, or Lancer Mark 1, feels great. The breach shot, I love the breach shot. That was one of the best things Judgment has had. And I'm so glad it's back in this game. I do think the Marxus should return if we got the breach shot. Just like I think Gears 4 and 5, the breach shot should have been in those two games, but it was unfortunately not. But enough being around the bush. What is the objective of this game? Well, there's multiple different objectives of this type of horde. You have the main objective, the side objective, and pretty much the progression of what you're going through, and the invasions. So, what are the main objectives? Well, there's a couple currently in the beta, or not currently, in the beta. There was secure, repair rig, do something with the rig, and then secure zones with the rig. There wasn't a whole lot of variety within those missions, but the missions themselves were fun. They kept you on your toes and stuff like that, which was really nice. And then before you complete a main objective, you can actually do 2 side objectives. So each main mission, you can do 2 side objectives before you complete that main objective. And there could be up to 3 main objectives, so 6 side objectives. And then there's, of course, Extract, where you have to get to King Raven and all of your teammates have to survive and get on the King Raven to, extract. The whole point, the whole mission of Horde Siege is to extract, to progress your weapons, to increase your weapons. And honestly, it does such a good job at that because the invasions, they give you the most weapon parts. I think it can on Rookie, it's like they give you 14. And then the side objectives, if you do all of your side objectives, you can get up to 18 on Rookie. And on Infantry, it's 24, I want to say. I don't know what it's like on Commander. That seems like a bucket list and a half to do. But honestly, I'm going to give Commander a shot whenever it releases. I'm looking forward to that. Something they did really, really well in this game is the cover. Cover is life, as it always should be in a Gears of War game. If you don't take cover, you are going to die. Cover is essential. There's also increased amounts of different variety within cover. There is low cover, there is, low cover is the biggest one. That's, the main thing. But it's a way to make the cover feel more organic to the world and to the character. I love low cover. My brother thinks I'm obsessed over it because I do. But, for instance, Yes. I'm watching my recording, and as soon as I mentioned low cover, I dive into low cover. Anyway, I love these spots of low cover. They are awesome. I absolutely want to see more of them. I think that this is probably going to be the map with the least amount of low cover in it, but I still was able to find quite a few spots that did have low cover. I quite frankly love it. It is fantastic to have that low cover, and yeah, I don't have really any complaints about the cover system in this. I think the cover system is great. I like how it's weighty, how it like you bush like slam yourself into the cover. It feels nice. Again, it feels weighty. It's such a nice I'll be talking about low cover all day if you guys let me. I love the low cover system in this. Now here's some miscellaneous stuff. The supply crates are in the game. What you do for the supply crates is you get like energy and whatnot in order to upgrade squad perks. What you can get from supply crates, not supply crates, like supply drops, I think they're called in this. Well, perk drops and supply drops. Supply drops give you weapons with specific attachments, and then perk drops give you legendary perks and whatnot. And how you get perks is by doing side objectives, and I don't know if there's a way to like confirm, lock in certain squad perks that you will get, so it's kind of random. But if you do get a like excellent combo, then nothing feels better than that whenever it comes to perks. It feels so good to get such an optimized squad perk layout. It's so good. Turrets are actually in this, but you actually use your energy in order to create the turret, and then you can rip it off like in Halo, and that's so cool. I'm so glad they have that. It's so awesome. The classes themselves, right now we have 4. There's going to be more after launch. I think season 1 is going to bring more. I don't know. I think it's going to be 1 class per season, but I'm not too sure about that. But honestly, the classes feel unique and different, and not being overpowered like the marksman was in Gears 5, where you would just be able to pop off heads from anywhere in the map because you had like wall hacks essentially with that class, which kind of made it fun, but you know, it was broken. E-holes are actually in Horde for once. I'm so happy about that because you only ever had them in campaign, and they'd only pop up like a little bit from time to time. They weren't very common at all. I'm so glad that they're back. It's so awesome to have e-holes just popping out and enemies just running at you, and you're able to throw a grenade. You close them, and then the enemies would break open the hole again, and you'd have to close it again. It was such an awesome experience for that. Also, I've heard people say, now I play on the Series X, so I think some of these complaints are coming from the PC area of Gears of War, but my game feels optimized well. Maybe it's because I'm used to like lower frame rates or something like that. I don't know. To me, it looks 60, and my PC it says it's 60. So maybe they're like used to 120. And I'm just used to 60, and since it's stable on 60, it's not stable on 120, so maybe that needs to be looked into for that, but to me, it feels very optimized, very well optimized. Now, believe it or not, I don't have a lot of cons for this. There are bugs, for instance. Some missions I was unable to complete, which would irritate me and my brother whenever that happened. But that wasn't all too common that would happen, and oftentimes it seemed to be with the repair rig missions, which, honestly, I should have expected that. I don't know why I didn't expect that. I don't think there was enough invasions, right? It felt like I was only getting 1 every 2 matches, and sometimes you would get 2 every match, or not every match, but 2 a match, but it wasn't very common. And those invasions were really fun, and I want them to happen more. Even if I don't get more weapon parts or whatnot, I still love the invasions. I would love to have them more frequently. I did have some server issues, like with lag and latency. My brother also had this issue, though his was to much more of an extent. I don't know if it's like specifically at the area he was at or whatnot, but I did feel some of the server lag and whatnot, but it wasn't massive. But yeah, that's Gears of War E-Day's beta of Horde. I really enjoyed my time. I am absolutely looking forward to the full release of the game. Let me know your like thoughts about the beta. If you've played it, if you enjoy it, if you like it, let me know. Anyway, that will be all for today's video. You all have a good rest of your night. Well, day, whatever time frame it is for you guys. Peace out.